When 42-year-old Charlotte Whitmore was found dead inside her picturesque English vicarage, detectives believed they were looking at a burglary gone wrong. The front door was open. Jewelry was missing. Drawers had been pulled out. But one tiny detail near the fireplace suggested something far darker. Someone had staged the entire crime scene. And the killer wasn't a stranger. Tonight, we'll uncover how a seemingly perfect life concealed devastating secrets, how a quiet village became obsessed with a murder mystery, and how investigators uncovered a suspect nobody expected. Because behind the stone walls of Willowbrook Vicarage, someone was living a lie. Willowbrook was the kind of village that appeared on postcards. Located in rural Yorkshire, its narrow streets were lined with flower boxes, historic cottages, and centuries-old buildings. Crime was rare. Violence was almost unheard of, which is why the events of October 12, 2018 shocked everyone. At 7:18 a.m., Reverend David Whitmore returned home after leading an early church service. He expected to find his wife Charlotte preparing breakfast. Instead, he discovered something horrifying. Charlotte lay motionless in the sitting room. The house appeared ransacked. Several pieces of jewelry were missing, and a broken window suggested an intruder had entered during the night. Police quickly secured the scene. Initial reports pointed toward a burglary that had turned deadly. The village was terrified. Residents locked their doors. Rumors spread. Had a violent criminal targeted their peaceful community? Or was something else happening? Charlotte Whitmore seemed universally loved. She volunteered at local charities, organized community events, raised money for village causes. Friends described her as kind, intelligent, and deeply devoted to her family. Her marriage to Reverend David appeared stable. They had lived in the village for over a decade. No obvious enemies, no threats, no known conflicts. Yet experienced detectives noticed something unusual. Charlotte's injuries didn't entirely match a burglary scenario, nor did the timing. Something felt off. As investigators began digging into Charlotte's life, unexpected details emerged. The first surprise involved money. Although the Whitmores appeared comfortable, financial records revealed mounting debts. Credit cards, personal loans, overdue payments. Detectives learned Charlotte had recently withdrawn several £1,000s from a private account. No one knew why. Then came another discovery. Phone records led detectives to a local businessman named Oliver Hayes. 48 years old. Successful. Well-connected. Respected throughout the county. He admitted knowing Charlotte, but claimed their relationship was purely professional. Yet messages recovered from Charlotte's phone suggested otherwise. The conversations revealed urgency. Concern. One text sent just days before her death read, "If David finds out, everything will fall apart." Investigators now faced multiple possibilities. Was Charlotte having an affair? Was she being blackmailed? Or had she become involved in something much more dangerous? Meanwhile, forensic specialists re-examined the supposed burglary. The missing jewelry list contained one curious item: a sapphire necklace. Expensive, distinctive, highly recognizable. Yet weeks passed and it never appeared in pawn shops. Never surfaced online. Never entered criminal markets. Detectives began wondering whether it had been stolen at all. Then a forensic analyst made a crucial observation. The broken window had been shattered from the inside, not the outside. The burglary had been staged. Someone wanted police to believe a stranger committed the crime. News of the staged scene spread rapidly. Suddenly everyone became a suspect. Neighbors accused neighbors. Old rivalries resurfaced. Village gossip exploded. And detectives discovered Charlotte had recently confided in a close friend. She feared someone. She never identified who. But she reportedly said, "If something happens to me, it won't be random." That statement changed everything. Months into the investigation, detectives uncovered Charlotte's secret. She had been helping Oliver Hayes expose financial fraud involving a local property development project. Millions of pounds were potentially missing. Powerful people were involved. And Charlotte had access to documents that could expose everything. Suddenly the motive appeared obvious. But there was a problem. Oliver had a solid alibi. Multiple witnesses placed him over 100 miles away. Investigators hit another dead end. Then a breakthrough arrived unexpectedly. A traffic camera captured a vehicle entering Willowbrook during the early hours of Charlotte's murder. The registration belonged to someone investigators had largely ignored. Reverend David Whitmore, her husband. Initially, detectives assumed there was a mistake. After all, David had discovered the body. He had cooperated fully. He appeared devastated. The entire village supported him. But digital evidence told a different story. His phone records didn't match his statements. Financial documents revealed he knew about Charlotte's secret investigation. And hidden emails uncovered something even more troubling. David believed Charlotte was preparing to leave him. Years of debt, financial pressure, humiliation, fear of public scandal. Everything had been building beneath the surface. When confronted with the evidence, David maintained his innocence. For weeks. Then detectives revealed the final piece. Microscopic glass fragments found on his coat matched the broken window used to stage the burglary. The evidence was overwhelming. Eventually, David confessed. Not to a planned murder, but to a confrontation that spiraled out of control. According to investigators, an argument erupted after Charlotte threatened to reveal financial secrets and leave the marriage. In anger, David attacked her, then spent hours creating the illusion of a burglary. The respected village vicar, the grieving husband, the man everyone trusted, had been hiding the truth from the beginning. The trial captivated Britain. Many villagers refused to believe the allegations. Others felt betrayed. Families who had trusted David for years struggled to reconcile the man they knew with the evidence presented in court. In 2021, David Whitmore was convicted of murder and sentenced to life imprisonment. The verdict brought some measure of justice, but it couldn't restore what had been lost. Charlotte's family later described her as a woman who cared deeply for others, even when doing so placed her in difficult situations. Today, the vicarage stands empty. Visitors still pass by its stone walls. Most have no idea what happened there. But those who remember know the truth. The greatest danger didn't come from a stranger breaking in. It came from someone already inside. Investigators spent months searching for a violent intruder. Instead, they discovered a husband hiding behind grief, a village hiding behind appearances, and a murder hidden behind a carefully staged lie. Because sometimes the most dangerous secrets aren't buried in dark alleys. They're buried inside seemingly perfect lives. And in Willowbrook, that secret cost Charlotte Whitmore everything. This was True Crime Chronicles.